Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is a take two. The lead story today for Geek News Central: General Motors software chief Baris Cetinok defends GM decision to remove Apple Carplay and Android Auto from their vehicles, especially their electric models. Cetinok argues that building an in-house software platform called Ultifi allows GM to create a fully integrated, seamless user experience tailored to each car's unique features. By retaining control over in-car displays and software, GM aims to innovate faster and offer better services to customers without relying on external software. This shift aligns with a broader goal for GM to transform into a hardware, software, and service company and basically put the middle finger to Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. That and many, many more stories tonight. Welcome to episode 1776, coming to this Monday, November 4th. I'm your host, Todd Cochran, ready to deliver your tech news and information fix. A quick shout out to our incredible sponsor at GoDaddy. Score exclusive deals and discounts at geeknewscentral.com/GoDaddy. And to all our fantastic listeners, you are the real MVPs, and you are the heartbeat of this show. If you want to support our GNC mission, head to geeknewscentral.com/insider and become a GNC insider. We're lit and live thanks to modern podcast apps. Don't just listen, experience the show live by grabbing a modern podcast app at podcastapps.com. You can support and interact in real time and take your podcasting listening experience to the next level. And of course, while you're at it, check out the full Geek News Central universe at geeknewscentral.com, geeknewscentral.com. And of course, you'll find all our partner shows, tons of content, and more tech goodness. Stay in the loop. Follow or subscribe via your favorite podcast app and join the community. Don't forget to sign up for our newsletter for even more insider scoops. And you have something to say, join the conversation at geeknews.chat or email geeknews@gmail.com. You can hit me up on X and you can even catch me on Facebook. Of course, we want to thank our sponsor at GoDaddy. And this is where the rubber really hits the road in listener support. Are you ready for some fantastic GoDaddy deals? Get exclusive savings right now at geeknewscentral.com/GoDaddy with our GoDaddy promo codes. Straight from Geek News Central, your home for the latest tech news. Of course, you want to start a website or a podcast? Our codes make it easy and affordable. Grab GoDaddy's economy hosting for just $6.99 a month. That's a full year of hosting with a free domain name, professional email, and SSL certificate. Grab or click the promo code for those of you that are WordPress fans as well and get managed hosting for just $12.99 a month. Again, includes a free domain, professional email, and SSL certificate for the first year. And you need a domain name? Get yours for only $11.99. And if you're testing the water, try GoDaddy's website builder free for a month. Geek News Central uses all of GoDaddy's products and services, and your support keeps this podcast alive. Use our codes and save money and be back an independent team of creators. Share my details with friends and family because every time a code is used, it supports Geek News Central. Thank you for keeping us line and going strong. Again, get the latest deals at geeknewscentral.com/GoDaddy. Your support means everything to the team here. Hey, everyone, thank you for being here. Yeah, as I said, I started the show. I got about 9 minutes in, and it just went sideways. The system disconnected from audio. I don't know what happened. It pissed me off. That's all I can say. And I'm also noticing that we are not live on Twitter. The videos are not making to Twitter. So I need to investigate what the heck's going on with that. And so it is what it is. Tis is what it is. But hey, I got to do the show intro twice. Hey, had a great weekend, no travel, just local hanging out, some shopping. I did score some bourbon online. It was delivered yesterday. And hey, no more having to travel with bourbon, but got a bottle of Buffalo Trace, a Michener's, so I'm set. I'm good, and it's just nice to be able to. You're not going to get anything super exotic here, but I did see a Blanton's available, but the price on that was a little steep. Don't need a bottle of Blanton's that bad, to be honest with you. So not going to be paying the aftermarket prices for something that can be scored on a once in a while basis when I'm home. So anyway, here we are. Thanks everyone for being here. Get right into the tech stack today. Of course, this insanity over at GM saying they have a high conviction of ditching CarPlay. Really? I'm not buying a vehicle unless it has... What the fuck? Well, I guess for the live stream today, we're just going to be stuck on the Mac mic because this stupid thing just disconnected again. If this is not to be trusted, this is not going to be able to continue to be used. We'll have to figure out what's going on. But for those of you on the live stream, I apologize that the audio just went to crap. I'll try to splice that in later on the live video so that the video version, so you get a better version of this. I did it just the same time. I'm very, very irritated right now. Anyway, we're going to continue. So the audio show wins the day. The streaming show is going to suck. The GM software boss, anyway, this high conviction, who's going to buy a vehicle without Android Auto or Apple CarPlay? I'm not. And I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts on this. geeknews@gmail.com. What do you say? Would you make the switch as well? I'd love to hear from you. And if you're a GM fan, what do you think about them basically no longer going to support you in the device that you so choose and so like? Big move by Meta. They're going to they are going to introduce something called the Adult Classifier Tool. It's going to catch teens who lie about their age on Instagram. The company will deploy the software early next year. If it detects that they think you are a teenager, it's going to move you into a teenager profile, and then it will make a change up. And the only way you can get an adult profile is by submitting an ID. You have to have an ID to have an adult profile on Instagram, but you don't have to have an ID to vote. But you can use their age verification platform called Yoti as well to be able to support that. And I just noticed something as well. It says we are private on. Okay, let's go ahead and switch this. We're not private. We're public. We'll switch that. Save that. And whatever reason, the YouTube's channel went private too. So I'm batting 1,000 today. So we'll see if this helps keep teens in the teen territory. Hey, a big story. NVIDIA's ousted Intel from the Dow Jones Index after a 25-year run. S&P Dow Jones announced that AI chipmaker NVIDIA will replace Intel, making a seismic shift in the semiconductor industry, ending a 25-year run on the prestigious stock market index. The change takes effect on November 8th. The changes were initiated to ensure a more representative exposure to the semiconductor industry, wrote S&P in a press release. We know that Intel stock has dropped 54% this year, making it the worst performance on the Dow, and the company now holds a market value under $100 billion, whereas the folks over at NVIDIA, what are they, at the $3 trillion or billion? There's a massive number that they have moved into at NVIDIA. The chip makers lost manufacturing leadership to Taiwan's TSMC and also missed the AI market. So NVIDIA is at $3.32 trillion, making it the second most valuable company in the world. So for now, Intel has lost its place on the Dow Jones Index, which is very, very bad for those of you that hold Intel stock. How many of you remember Back to the Future? Of course, classic movie, right? There's an interview recently done with the creator of that. He said, I would like to do another Back to the Future, but I want to do a musical. Why would you want to do a musical movie? I don't get that, to be kind of frank and honest with you, why you would want a musical version of the show does not make a lot of sense to me, for sure. At the same time, he's been approached to do a Back to the Future number 4, but he has said no to it several times, so it should not come as a surprise. Europe plans to check Apple's iPad for DMA compliance. We know that the European Union, which continues to fund all their IT infrastructure on all these settlements it's gotten from American companies because they can't raise their own money and continue to impose fines and regulations upon U.S. industry. But basically, the Apple's got to make some major changes, supporting a third-party app store. It's got to allow you to choose the browser that you want. And so anyway, they've announced these changes in a document that was released on November 1st. And now the EU is going to go through that document and make sure that, quote, unquote, they are living up to expectations. So we'll see where this falls out. The dating app Grindr has illegally used, quote unquote, return to office to thwart a union, forcing about 80 staff to quit, a U.S. labor board alleges. So Grindr's apparently legally imposed return to office policy that forced about half of its staff an attempt to thwart a unionization push. So the U.S. National Labor Relations Board General Counsel Office accusing the app of violating federal labor laws, and the complaint filed Friday also accuses the company of illegally refusing to recognize and negotiate with the workers' union. The company's RTO crackdown forced roughly 80% of Grindr's 178 employees to resign last year, according to the Communication Workers of America, turning the company and its policies into a flashpoint amid a broader push across industries to get employees back into office. And Grindr had mandated workers show up at the office 2 days a week shortly after announcing a union campaign with CWA in July 2023. The policy required major relocations and placed a particular heavy burden on trans employees who would need to find new health care providers, according to the labor group. So no comment on this. This was being reported on over on the Toronto Sun. Elon Musk PAC has admits that the $1 million voter giveaways were not random. The 1 million recipients are not chosen by chance, the former treasurer of Musk PAC said. So he did get an injunction to continue running the $1 million giveaway, which obviously ends today. So, but it appears that the $1 million recipients were not chosen by chance. So that kind of goes against what Elon was saying that we talked about in this show last week. Uber, Lyft, and others are offering discounts for Election Day rides. So if you need a ride to the polls on Tuesday, you've got options. So they're going to give a 50% discount on rides Tuesday for Uber. Go Vote option will be available in the app at half price, up to $10. In addition, Uber says it will offer 25% discounts nationwide as people go to election watch parties. Lyft promo is also 50% off, up to $10 with the promo code VOTE24. So, again, if you need transportation to go vote, which please do, Uber and Lyft are giving discounts available, again, within the app. Apple is reportedly considering an iPhone-powered Vision device. Now, they've had some challenges here in getting their Vision Pro off the deck, but the new design for Apple's Vision lineup could help the company find new customers looking for a lower price tag option, a lighter, sleeker wearable for their face. We'll see. But again, the rumor is that Apple is seriously considering a device that offloads the computing components to an iPhone and serves as an accessory for watching movies. Now, that's something that would be roughly akin to the glasses offered by companies like Xreal. Now, unlike the bulky Vision Pro headsets, Xreal's Beam Pro and Air Pro devices resemble regular eyeglasses with a thick frame. That kind of design has had high-tech company experience for a while now. So we will see. According to Meta's new Quest S3 headset, by contrast, costs $300, and the Quest 3 is $500. So lots of options out there. We will see if Apple makes the move on this in regard to making an update. 2 IT contractors have been arrested after tricking the United States government out of millions of dollars. The U.S. Department of Justice shared details of 2 separate instances. A Baltimore federal grand jury has returned indictments against 2 of the 6 defendants and charged the other 4. The fraudsters were accused of targeting key government agencies, including the DoD and intelligence community. Apparently, these 2 individuals basically submitted a bunch of false bids in addition to a real bid that basically allowed them to win some contracts. These folks are facing up to 20 years in prison for wire fraud and 10 years in prison for major fraud. I guess that's a separate charge. So conspiracy, bribery of a public official. Did the public official get fired? Mail fraud and money laundering, defrauding his employer and the U.S. government more than $7 million alongside 2 additional associates. So, he went and bought a yacht and some other stuff with the money, or a big boat. I don't know if you can buy a yacht for that kind of money or not. Again, if you're listening on the live stream today, I apologize. We've had a microphone disconnect. I have no idea how to fix that in show without rebooting, but that's why you're listening on the iMac Pro. The Mac Pro's mic versus this mic. LA Housing Authority admits data breach following a ransomware attack. The Housing Authority of the City of Los Angeles has suffered its second ransomware attack in as many years. Threat actors known as Cactus added HACLA to its data leak website, claiming to have stolen 891 gigs of files from the organization. There's been a small sample that's been posted, but another ransomware attack. LA Housing Authority. Hopefully they have good backups. The New York Times Tech Guild is on strike. One day before the presidential election, they went on strike. The guild represents 600 software engineers, product managers, data analysts, and designers from the media company. Its strike leaves the company bereft of crucial technical expertise. The guild has been bargaining since 2022 for its first union contract. Negotiations between it and the Times hit log jams over things like a just cause provision that prevents a company from firing workers unless it's for something like misconduct, as well as pay increases, pay equity, and return to office policies. Why can't, firing and I guess letting someone go? Imagine being a company and you can't fire people or lay them off. I don't get it. I'd like to see the language in that. I really, really would. Chrome OS has got a major update with plenty of goodies and new features, so maybe that's what's going on. I updated the Chrome today, and that's why maybe the microphone's disconnecting. But anyway, the Quick Insert is a new menu that allows you to quickly input emoji, symbol, GIFs, links, calculations, and even access AI features. Focus is a new feature that makes it easy for you to toggle Chrome OS Do Not Disturb mode. And Welcome Recap is a new feature that helps you jump back into what you were doing when you start up your Chromebook. Once enabled, you can quickly view and restore apps. So again, a lot of this coming to Chrome OS for your Chromebook. So it's not, I guess it wasn't the Chrome, well, it would have included the Chrome browser, but I guess Chrome OS is a little more involved than just the Chrome browser. So my regards here. NASA seeks continuity in human spaceflight programs in next administration. A top NASA official urged the next administration to maintain current plans to return humans to the moon, warning that a change of destinations could result in the loss of U.S. leadership in space. Speaking at a luncheon at the American Aeronautical Society Von Braun Space Exploration Symposium in Huntsville, Alabama, NASA Associate Administrator Jim Freeze said the agency needs to stick with the plan. It now has, through Artemis Lunar Exploration Campaign, to return humans to the moon as a step towards a later mission to Mars. We need that consistency and purpose. That has not happened since Apollo. He says a change, such as a shift in destination, he said, just takes all our programs backwards. We need to stick to a plan we have now. If we lose that, I believe we'll fall apart and we'll wander, and people in this world will pass us by. Well, NASA's already getting their butt kicked. Look at what China's doing. They just can't move quick enough. They're too bureaucratically challenged, to be honest with you. Experts are warning that some ChatGPT models can be hacked to launch deep fake scams. The IRS agent you were talking to might have been a GPT bot. I would hope you would know this. Now, success for these various scams found that it worked 60% of the time for Gmail, while others like Crypto Transfer had about a 40% success. The scams are also relative cheap to conduct, costing about $1 per successful campaign. That's crazy that people are being cheated out of their money by an AI bot. It's just crazy. Be careful out there. Please be careful. Over at explorersweb.com, do you want to know how astronauts vote in space? Well, they do so digitally, but there's a bit of an article on how that happens. Pretty simple, in fact, because most astronauts call Texas their home, and they have electronic voting in Texas, so it makes it easy. SpaceX has scrubbed a Starlink satellite launch due to an apparent rocket helium leak. They got within about 3 minutes of the 2 minutes and 36 seconds from the launch, and there was a hold, standing down for helium stage 1, a SpaceX team member called out during a recent live broadcast of the planned launch. So a new launch date has not been set at this point. Microsoft has also has decided, Microsoft has reached, this is a very bad headline. Let me, for those of you watching, let me show this to you. Microsoft has reached $1 million giveaway levels of desperation to attract users to Bing. We're not saying Microsoft is desperate, but a $1 million sweepstakes that grants entries to users of the search engine sure smells and quacks like a duck. The contest kicked off last month and is open to anyone with a Microsoft account resides in the United States, Canada, UK, France, or Germany, and a willingness to rely on Bing's quote-unquote accurate search results. As often the case of sweepstakes like this, entrants can gain multiple chances. Really? We're having to give away people to sign up for a pack, give away money to use a search result. I guess that's, kind of par for the course right now with what's going on, isn't it? The United States has sentenced a Nigerian to 26 years in prison for stealing millions through phishing. The man, and I'm not going to try to pronounce his whole name, Kalade, a resident of Leicester, UK, was indicted February 2023. He said he was Nigerian, but he says he resides in the UK. According to court documents, he relied on phishing to compromise the email accounts of real estate business and gain access to them. He then monitored conversations. When noticing that large transactions were being prepared, he intercepted wire payment instructions and sent modified information from spoofed email accounts. The change information instructed prospective homeowners looking to buy properties and real estate to wire money to a title company to send the funds, but it went to a wrong company. The scheme is estimated to cause roughly $12 million in actual losses. However, prosecutors said the intended losses were more than $100 million. So in addition to serving 26 years, he was ordered to pay over $3.3 million in restitution. After serving his sentence, he'll be subject to deportation. Okay, so no one's going to get any money for sure out of that. Now, if you have a TP-Link router, TP-Link, you need to make sure the firmware is updated. Hackers have built a botnet of 16,000 compromised devices and been using them to hijack Azure accounts for over a year. So be aware of this. Go and make sure your TP-Link is updated. Does it say which models? No, but there's a huge number of models of TP-Link routers that are been compromised. So make sure you get the update. You may have to update it directly from TP-Link's website. Your uploader may not even work anymore within your firmware. Apple apparently approved another illegal streaming app, a quote-unquote productivity app that streamed pirated movies seems to slip past Apple's review. It's gone now, but it was online for a period of time. So they can shut down apps for a whole bunch of different purposes, but they can't catch these apps in the middle of the application process. Just kind of blows me away. Google TV's new free streaming app has been removed, and it won't be back right away. Apparently, there's a bug. FreePlay, not to be confused with UK's Freeview Play, is Google TV's app for users delivering fast, free ad-supported TV channels. Apparently, there's got a bug, and it keeps crashing, so they have removed it, not available for you for the time being. After a long break, NASA has suggested timing for a next spacewalk. Now, this is pretty crazy, considering that at least 12 spacewalks took place between 21 and 23. This is clearly an unusual turn of events. There's only been 2. We know that NASA spacewalked at the ISS in June after a water leak from the service and cooling umbilical unit to the spacesuit. So basically, they've had so much trouble with these old spacesuits, and NASA can't get a new spacesuit designed. It's just taken years and years and years. You got Elon Musk has got one. Again, they're using suits created in the 70s. It's just, why? Why is this? I just don't understand why we're so far behind. Can't do spacewalks because our spacesuits suck. There's really, when it comes to government and it comes to their implementation in government of contracts, just so much shit that just doesn't get done. It's amazing. It's really, really amazing, to be honest with you. Apparently, Americans are turning to VPN services to bet on the U.S. election. So it's just one day left. And, of course, there's a very close race here between the two candidates. So lots of people are gambling. And they're going offshore to gamble. And using VPNs to do it. Not surprised. A City of Columbus ransomware attack has impacted 500,000 people. City of Columbus is notifying 500,000 individuals that their personal information was stolen in a July 2024 ransomware attack. Why are they just reporting on this now? The July incident took the city systems offline. In late July, the city announced the attack was stopped before the file encrypted ransomware could be deployed. So in early August, the city sued security researchers David Leroy Ross, also known as Connor Goodwolf, for telling the local media that the personal information resident was stolen during the attack. The city's officials previously said that only corrupted, unusable data had been exfiltrated. Ross discovered that the Rizdia ransomware again leaked on its Tor-based website 3.1 terabytes of information exfiltrated from Columbus system. And yes, 500,000 people. So I guess he's going to win his day in court. I hope he gets his lawyer fees paid as well. We've got the link to everything new on Paramount Plus in November in the show notes. And also, Microsoft is refreshing Windows Hello to make signing in with your face or fingers much more pleasant with Windows 11. Windows Hello has a new look and has passkey options. So if you're a Microsoft user and you're looking forward to, I'm just like to be able to, what I've got is a 4-digit code I use to log into the Windows machine I've got sitting behind me that's doing the audio stream today. So anyway, link will be up in the show notes for that as well. Meanwhile, Perplexity has launched an election tracker. So Perplex, the AI-powered search engine, might hallucinate from time to time, but the company wants to show that it's trustworthy enough to use for tracking election results. Today, Perplexity announced a dedicated hub for U.S. general election information populated by data from the Associated Press and Democracy Works. The company described it in a blog as an entry port for understanding key issues. Starting Tuesday, they'll be offering live updates on election by leveraging data from the AP, so you can inform on presidential, Senate, House races at both the state and national level. Thanks to Democracy Works for granting us access to their elections API to help power these experiences. So if you're a Perplexity user or you want the link to that, it'll be up in the show notes. Well, a little bit of a weird show for me. I'm irritated beyond belief that the microphone disconnected twice. I recorded the first 7 or 8, 9, 10 minutes of this show today, and restarted it largely because of the microphone disconnection, and it did again within 7 minutes of starting the show today. So I'm going to have to do some testing here on Restream and figure out why this is occurring, because it's absolutely unacceptable. Big issue for me to not be able to have stability in the microphone connection. Also got to figure out why we're not streaming to Twitter. I think we're online, no problem with Facebook. We're online with YouTube after it set it to private for a little bit. So anyway, I'll do some testing. We'll get this stuff figured out. It's not a big deal because not a lot of people are watching the live stream anyway, but I do rely on the live stream to provide me the video recording. So I'm going to have to do a little bit of synchronization today. As a matter of fact, before we quit editing or before I stop the show, I'll do a little bit of a clap test to find the marker to be able to align it for the video so that those of you listening have gotten a good quality. So we'll do that right now. All right. So anyway, everyone, thanks for being here. Do not forget, home base is at geeknewscentral.com, geeknewscentral.com. We want you to come over there. Feel free to drop me an email at geeknews@gmail.com. Don't forget about our sponsor. If you're not yet an insider, please continue to do so. I apologize I didn't have the boost loaded today for the show. I'll get that done for the next episode. We'll be back with a little more controlled experience for those of you doing the video part on Thursday. But everyone, thanks for being here. Everyone, take care. We'll see you next time here on the Geek News Central podcast. Take care. Bye-bye.